Good morning. Good morning. Oh, beautiful. We are live. Perfect. All right. So, good morning. And give me a moment while I pull this up on my phone. I don't know why I tell you that every time because you know what I'm doing. All right. There we go. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure you say hello when you get here. Let me know that you're here. Good morning, Wendy, the traveling woman. Good morning, Lynn. Great to have you here. Well, we've been having some rain and a little bit of storms with all this residue from that hurricane. And so it's got my sinuses all jacked up this morning, I will say. Got a touch of a sinus headache, but I'll be fine. It's going to get better and better as I go. So, how are you ladies doing this morning? Wendy, how's the weather where you're at? I forgot where you were going. I should take better notes, I guess. And I hope you noticed that I created an event for Saturday that I'm doing the stand up and stand out party again because there was such a snafu with all the links not working and the different things, and some people wanted to come and weren't able to come. So I thought, well, we'll do it again on Saturday and just see. Raining, oh, Raleigh. Yes, I was thinking it was there, but I couldn't remember for sure. Yeah, we've got rain today too. Traveling home tomorrow. Okay. Well, let's have safe travels. I don't know. I don't remember if it's supposed to clear up a little bit for tomorrow or not. I cannot remember. All right. So let's go ahead and jump in. Let me share that today's affirmation. All right. So today's affirmation, it's another I am statement. It is, I am embracing a yes life, open to learning more about myself and endless possibilities ahead. And, we've talked, it hasn't been that long ago, we talked a little bit about a yes life because I remember talking about, we'll see how time goes tomorrow, flights. Yeah. Um, I remember talking about that movie with Jim Carrey, the Yes Man. And to me, I love that movie because it is, even though it's a comedy, it's very indicative of how we can change if we're open to possibilities, right? Doing well, a bit tired. My social calendar is so busy. I'm having too much fun and staying out too late, but I'm enjoying this season and meeting tons of people. Ooh, hallelujah, Lynn. That's beautiful. It was a stretch for me yesterday because I've gotten to be such a homebody. I work from home and everything that, this summer has been the season of yes. Hallelujah, Lynn. But I went to the networking event yesterday. And as a matter of fact, I took a little quick picture and I haven't shared it yet, but it was just me and the view of some of the people there. But it was so much fun. I had such a great time meeting people and set up a time to connect with one of the people that was there. And I invited them to come into the group, and so we shall see. But it was a lot of fun to actually just step out and go and meet in person. So kudos to you, Lynn. I haven't been that active as you are, but I'm very active on the computer and stuff right now because I've got this agenda that I'm trying to get all these things done. And so maybe once the this next challenge gets started good, then I'll be doing a little bit more of that. It'll force me to, right? Yeah, yeah. So, how does it feel when you say, of course, I know with you, Lynn, you said that's what you're living right now is a yes life. And I think in so many ways, Wendy is too, because she's always going and doing things and stuff. So, when you're embracing this yes life, although my home has gone to hell in a handbasket. That's what my grandmother used to say about all kinds of things. Going to hell in a handbasket. That reminds me of my grandmother so much. The one that I was fond of, not the one that always said I'd never do anything. But as I say this affirmation, I am embracing a yes life, open to learning more about myself and the endless possibilities ahead, because we want to stretch it out a little further where it's not just saying yes to the things that pop up, but it's learning about yourself in the process and being more aware of the endless possibilities ahead of you. And like I was talking about that Jim Carrey movie, I don't know if you've seen it. Have you guys seen that movie? I mean, it's an older movie, but still. The thing that I loved about it is, he is so stagnant in his life and he's so rigid in everything that he does. And then when he is challenged to say yes to things when he goes to this conference or however, but it doesn't really matter. But then he starts saying yes to everything and he starts it's like he blossoms and he meets people and he does things and he just has glorious time learning about himself and all the possibilities, right? And so that's what I wish for all of us, to be able to just grab hold of a yes life and learn and grow and discover, right? Well, Lynn, you'll have a chance to get your home out of the handbasket when the season dies down just a little bit. All right, so now here's our journal prompt. What new things are you discovering about yourself as you're living this yes life? And how can you say yes more often? How can saying yes more often open more doors to new opportunities in your life? And the thing that comes up for me as I'm thinking about a yes life is, and you guys know me. There's been so many times I've said no to things just because I didn't know how to do them, or I was afraid to look stupid or anything like that. And so adopting a yes life is really big for me. But I've been doing it for a while now, and it's much more delicious than living that fearful life, right? And it doesn't mean that I don't sometimes get scared, because each little step out of our comfort zone can be scary. The thing is that my comfort zone has changed a lot since COVID. And part of it is good and part of it's not so good, because part of the thing is that I'm doing so many things that I never would have done before, but I'm doing it in a bubble. So like my going to that event yesterday was a big deal, because I've been really, really more introvert when it comes to going out and physically meeting people on purpose. Now I can do it just going shopping and talking to people at a restaurant and all that stuff, but to going to networking events, going to things like that, just felt daunting. It felt like, is it worth it? Why do I even want to do this? And I could talk myself out of it so many times. And I'm so glad I didn't yesterday because I met some amazing people. I loved listening to the guest expert that they had talking. She was talking about Instagram reels and things like that. And then seeing the different businesses that people had, and discovering that, there were some people there that wanted to connect with me and find out a little bit more about what I do. Um, so it felt really good to do that step out, right? And so my goal is to step out and do that more often. And like, they have a social coming up in the near distant future. So many different things that I could get involved in. So I'm one of the things that I'm looking at is to check out the meetups again and see if there's a meetup that happens near me that I could participate in. And so there's a lot of things that I can do to have this yes life, to open more doors to new opportunities, right? And so I'm doing it here, online so much. Good morning, Jamie. The thing is that I, my goal is to stretch out more and live this yes life in everyday life, going out and meeting people. And so that's one of the things that I love about, those that go start this with me. The Find Your Voice Challenge is coming up. We talked about it not too long ago, and I'm going to have Stacy here on Monday talking about how she created it, why she created it, and all of the good stuff. But I've done this Find Your Voice one time before, and it was really, really amazing about helping me to do some inner discoveries, right? And I've been doing, my coaching and all that stuff for a while, but something about the way she had these dares set up, it was so powerful. And so I know the thing that is going to be so exciting is it's going to get me even more into a yes life, stepping into going and talking to people with our dares. And, we have our comfort circles, our comfort zone, right? And so I have already decided that each time I do something, I'm going to stretch just a little bit out of that comfort circle that I'm currently in. And I'm in a different circle depending on what I'm doing, right? Let's see. I was excited for you to go do that. I knew you would be able to broaden your horizons. You are on fire. It's inspiring to watch you and to think that someday I may be ready to do the same. Oh, thank you, Lynn. You will. You will. Are you going to do the Find Your Voice this time? I enjoyed the heck out of it when I did it before, but my comfort zone has changed since then. So I'm really intrigued to see what's going to come up for me to do with these with the dares for this next one, because I've stretched that comfort zone, that comfort circle out. My new normal, right, is way beyond where it was when I did the Find Your Voice before. And that's what's glorious about this. And like Stacy, one of the things that I heard her say the other day was that she sometimes is even herself blown away with how quickly people move from this comfort circle to the next one, to the next one, the next one with ease. It's just like, it's like if you had told me a year ago that I would be doing this here like this now, I wouldn't have believed you. And if you had told me 2 years ago that I'd be doing anything like this, I would have thought you were absolutely crazy. And so it's changed over time, and I love every minute of it. Um, I don't think so. So just don't know that I am in the right headspace or what I want to find my voice for. Well, it doesn't really matter what you're finding your voice for. It's if you remember, most of the Find Your Voice stuff is internal, and so I know you have the thing that goes on with your house. And remember, we've talked about how Sometimes that's a mental thing. And who knows if maybe finding your voice is to clear that clutter. So think about it. And it's because it's different this time. It's a digital, and it is 17 days. So it's not as long a time commitment. Now you can take longer because you keep it for, I forgot what the amount of time that you keep the whole thing. It's not lifetime access anymore because she's doing it at such a low price point, because it's only $47. But think about it, Lynn. You might be surprised at how much it will help you with just you, not necessarily finding your voice for what you're doing out here. So I would definitely consider it. Yeah, yeah. And one of the things that I'm doing for anybody that signs up under my link is I'm doing a WhatsApp group so people can go in there and chatter about it and help one another, kind of like what we're doing on our in our group, and we'll be able to share in our group as well. And I'm going to be doing like a meet and greet where we'll be doing it on a Zoom, and just kind of figuring out where everybody is and what they're excited about. And then we'll be doing another one before the end of it that will help us to see where people need help, and just to celebrate the things, the changes that have happened so far. So it's going to be amazing. And I'm so excited to do this with you guys. So Lynn, if you decide, then yeah, definitely you'll get the extra thing from me. And the other thing is that part of it is the podcast challenge. You get her podcast challenge for free, and so we can actually talk about that too. And so I'm just ultra excited, and I want to have more and more of you guys doing it with me, because it'll make it so much more fun and delicious to dive into this stuff together. All right, so I'm going to go back to the affirmation. And remember, put this on your sticky note, your index card, the screensaver on your phone. Put it somewhere that you'll see it. And you can shorten this for those things. All you have to put on there to really get this is, I am embracing a yes life, right? I am embracing a yes life. And remember, anything that comes after the words I am, you own it. Now, whether you're saying a powerful statement or you're saying one that's not powerful, you own it completely, right? So it's beautiful when we can, on purpose, deliberately decide what our I am statement is and utilize that as much as possible. So I am embracing a yes life. I'm open to learning more about myself and the endless possibilities ahead. And we have so many opportunities in our lives that we are not even privy to. We don't even notice. Like we've talked before about the thing when you're looking at a car that you have are a little intrigued with. Like when I decided I wanted to get a Prius, I saw an ad and it was just like, ooh, I don't know much about that car. Let me research. And I researched, and then I thought, okay, I want that. And so I hardly ever saw them out on the road, hardly ever. And then I go by that car, and as soon as I do, I see them everywhere. I even go in the grocery store and I come out, and it looks like the whole row that I'm parked in is Priuses. Now, is that the truth? No, probably not. It's that I was noticing all the Priuses. I wasn't noticing the other things. Now, before I got the Prius, I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee. And so what would probably be happening then was, when I would walk outside, I would only notice the Jeeps in the row. And so it would look like there were a lot of Jeeps. So we see what we're thinking about, what we notice, what we have, what we've opened ourselves up to see, right? Today is National Positive Thinking Week. Okay, beautiful. So does that mean today starts National Positive Thinking Week? Because a day is not a week. Is it today is National Positive starts National Positive Thinking Week? I don't know. Or maybe this is the end of National Positive Thinking Week. I don't know. So just think about it. I've said it many, many times. There are 50 billion bits of information coming at us per second because everything is emitting a frequency and energy. But we can't. Oh, okay. Positive thinking day. Okay, I gotcha. I was kind of confused there for a minute. I thought I'd missed something. But these 50,000 bits of information per second, if those things were coming at us and we didn't have this filtering system to just kind of filter them out, then man, we would just be going bonkers. That's just too much information, right? And so our amazing brains have adopted the ability to filter things out. And it's like when you go, like if you live someplace where there's, like, let's say for instance, you live in a place where there's a train track near your house. When you first move in there, that train is going to drive you crazy, right? But over time, your brain starts filtering out the sound of that train and you don't even notice it anymore. But somebody else comes over to your house, they're going to hear that train. But so our ability to filter out the things that don't matter or that we don't want to even hear are there. Like, for instance, I recently had a client that was having some problems with all of a sudden tinnitus. I couldn't think what it was, tinnitus. And on working with her, I discovered that one of the things was that she had someone that was all the time talking in her ear about how hard things were and the things that they wanted to do that they couldn't do, and it was just very excruciating, and they felt responsible for helping this person, and they were constantly, when they would get off the phone, they would be in tears because they wanted a better life for this person, and they felt like they just had to do something, right? And over time it got to where she was having this ringing in her ears that kind of filtered out that voice, right? Sometimes she couldn't even hear her own voice when all this was happening. And it started at the exact same time that this person started having problems in talking to them about it. And so we did hypnosis and everything to try to get her into a better place. Now, I don't know how it's going to end up working completely for her, because that's not my job, is to do the work. And then she has to decide how she's going to proceed, right? And so she may end up loving the fact that she can just listen to this person and not internalize it, and then her ears will be better. But if she continues to just have all this angst with it, it's not going to get any better at all. And so it's kind of interesting, right? That her body was trying to filter out that noise. Isn't that interesting? So anyway, so the thing is that when we open ourselves up to a yes life and we're looking to see, we're open to learning more about ourselves and endless possibilities ahead. If we're really focused on that, and that is because remember, of the 50 billion bits of information per second, we are privy to 2,000 of those. So as you're doing this and you're really getting into this place of knowing and learning about the endless possibilities ahead, that means that's part of your 2,000 bits. It's like there's this little note that these are the things that you will focus on, right? And so you're going to see more possibilities just because you're open to it. Then that will allow opportunities to come into that 2,000 bits. But if you're not open to it, those possibilities are still there. You just can't see them. You can't be in the proper place to take advantage of them. When an opportunity shows up, you may look at it as an obstacle. There's so many things that are different about your 2,000 bits that you see. if you're closed off to certain things. So I invite you today to use this affirmation: I am embracing a yes life, open to learning more about myself and the endless possibilities ahead. And then, hold on, let me see what's going on over here. So if you're, I see I've got someone on Instagram. Yeah. So just chime in too. Are you using these? Are you ready to use this powerful I am statement for today? Are you guys ready to use this I am statement for today? Whoops, I took it away. I meant to put it back. All right, so our journal prompt for today, and remember the thing is that get your notebook out, get your journal out, put the date, the affirmation in the journal prompt, and then just take some time to just calmly silence your mind, or not silence it, but quiet it. Get it to where the chatter is just a little bit less. And one of the ways that I like to do that, because I can have all the chatter of all the things that I need to be doing if I don't do something to calm it down a little bit, right? And most people are that way in some way, shape, or form, right? So I will sit with my eyes closed and I'll do some breathing. And then if my mind is still chattering, what's going to be for breakfast? What's this? What's that? Then I will start focusing on the sounds in the room to just kind of bring me back into this place of exactly where I'm at. I'll have my feet on the ground, on the floor to ground me. And then just spend some time there in the silence. And then when you open your eyes, just brain dump whatever comes up, because you might be surprised of the new things that you've been discovering about yourself. When you start writing out things that you've realized in that moment about you, you will really be shocked. And just put anything down that pops up. And because your subconscious mind is feeding you some information, and it's really, really important to listen. So make sure you're listening. And then how can you say yes more often? How can saying yes more often open doors to new opportunities in your life? Just write out whatever you think, whatever comes up. And by doing this, you're opening yourself up to see those 2,000 bits of information. Is going to have ultra opportunities popping in. And that's what I wish for you, to just have opportunities galore. It's like having like a huge apple tree that's just got so many apples that the branches are going down to the ground, and they're just right there in front of you. You don't have to reach up. You don't have to get a stick. My grandmother used to have an apple tree, and we'd have this long stick that would lay right on the trunk of the tree so that you could get the high fruit. We would go and we would poke it and get the apples to fall down. Well, in this scenario, man, you've got apples so much that they're just, the branches are hanging down. There are so many opportunities. All you have to do is walk up and pick one. You don't even have to stretch. So just imagine that for a moment. I want you to take just a second, and I want you to close your eyes. If you're not driving, you're not doing anything that you can't close your eyes. But close your eyes and just envision this apple tree in front of you. And if you want to make it dollar signs, make it dollar signs instead of apples. But or you can make it O's for opportunity, whatever works for your imagination. Just imagine yourself standing there, and it's got this huge, magnificent trunk to the tree, but it is so laden with fruit, with opportunities, with money, that it is just bent over where the limbs are almost touching the ground. They're so full of opportunities. And you just walk up to it. And it's a glorious day. It's the perfect temperature. Oh, you can hear the birds singing. You might even hear some rustling branches. You might even hear some animals scurrying around. Maybe there's even laughter in the background of children playing. Whatever makes you feel magnificent in this scenario, in this scene right here. And then in your imagination, oh, you've got a basket in your hand and you just start reaching out right there in front of you and you're taking the apples, the opportunities, the money, oh, all of that. And you're just putting it so easily and effortlessly, taking it off the branch and putting it in your basket. And you notice that your basket is just overfilled. And there's still, when you look at that tree, it is still laden with more opportunities, more money, more apples, more everything than you could even use. Because we live in an abundant universe, there's more for everybody. And you've got your basket, and you're going to take it with you when you go, knowing that anytime you want to, all you have to do is focus on opportunities. And then you're right back there collecting all the opportunities, the money, the anything that you're looking for are right there within reach so easily. So go ahead and open your eyes if you haven't already, and just know that there's so many opportunities in our lives. And now you're going to see them over and over and over again. You're not only going to see them, but you're going to reach out and grab them. You're going to take advantage of them, and you are going to be shocked with how different your life can become. So just think about that. Are you ready? Are you ready to embrace the opportunities? All right. So thank you for being here today. I've got to go. I've got some tasks to get to, some clients to get to, and so I don't know if you're still here, Wendy. Sounds delicious. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So if you got our ending phrase, embrace a day full of yeses. Have a totally positive day. Oh, you are so good at this. All right. So as Wendy so eloquently said this, I wish you to embrace a day full of yeses. Have a totally positive day. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. Mwah.